Hi everyone, I'm Jackie. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to our weekly Declutter with Me series. We're on episode 4. What we've been doing is we have been following the Konmari method, the life-changing magic of tidying up for decluttering our entire house. So the idea is that you go in the order that Marie Kondo gives you in the book. So we've already done, if you've missed it, we've already started with our clothes. So we finished out the clothes, and within the clothes, she recommends that you go through everything in a particular order. So what I recommend is that just focus on one section at a time, and you can either do 15 minutes at a time, or like we kind of do once a week, we might sit down for like an hour and go through that. So the clothes, you start with your tops, your bottoms, and so forth. So if you missed that, you can take a look at that. And basically what the idea is that you're going to gather those items from all over your entire house. So if you might have clothes in a guest bedroom in addition to your room, or another hall closet or something like that, you want to gather them all up. But if you just do each section, it's not going to be as overwhelming. So instead of getting all of the clothes, you just do your tops until you're done, and then move on to the next one. So now we're on books. So the idea is that we want to get all of the books from all over the house. We are primarily have all of our books here on this bookcase. I do know I have some books in the pantry that I had for like homeschooling things. So we're not homeschooling anymore. So the idea is we want to bring everything over. The idea with the Konmari method, one, you gather everything around the house so that way you can truly see how much you actually have. And then the other thing that you're going to do is we want to take all of the books off of the bookcase, or if you're doing your clothes, you're taking all of the clothes out of the drawers, you're taking all the clothes off the hangers, because we want to physically handle every single item. And there is something truly magical about doing it this way, and I think that's why she says the life-changing magic of tidying up, because when you physically handle those items, you will have that feeling. You're gonna feel, those items they have a life of their own, and you're gonna feel right away whether that item still sparks you joy or not. So some items might make you feel really bad for whatever reason it is. You definitely don't want those in your house. We want to focus on what we want to keep instead of focusing on what we're getting rid of. So we want to make sure that we're keeping only those things that truly spark us joy. So we're not really going to think of anything else. We're going to look at, we're going to handle every single item, and then you're going to go ahead, and if it's no longer sparking you joy, you're going to thank it for the time that it did provide you joy, and you're going to let it move on. So whether that's donating it, or possibly it has to go in the recycling bin or the trash can, whatever that is, you're going to do that. So similar to the clothes you go in a certain order. With the books, what we're going to do is you want to divide your books up into 3 categories. So the first one is all of your magazines. So we don't have any magazines. We don't really subscribe to a magazine or purchase any magazines, so that's one step down that we don't have to worry about, which is nice. And then you're going to get all the books that are the ones that you are reading for enjoyment. And then you're going to have your books that are more like reference books, like cookbooks and things like that. Now, the majority of my books, if you guys have been following my channel, you know that I'm all about personal and professional development. So all of my books that I would actually consider to be both enjoyable and both a reference book are all of my books. So I might divide mine up into categories, so whether that's based on personal finance or my professional career, or something like that. So in general, those we want to get all the books off the shelf, and we want to divide them up into those categories, and then again we're going to do the process of going through it. Now, I do have behind me here we have 2 kids, so we do have all the kids stuff. So we're gonna break this up into 2 videos for you. So I'm going to go through all my books today, and then next week we will go through the kids books with my daughter, so you can kind of see how you can do this with your children. And it's a really good skill to teach your kids to know that, hey, it's okay that we don't need to be so attached to some of these items, as long as we're giving them the proper thank you and sending them to a better home. So similar to last time, I'm just going to have my timer. Now, if I only wanted to do 15 minutes, I would set my timer for 15 minutes and I would start working. I also follow the Fly Lady method of decluttering. So she usually has you declutter, 15 minutes a day in whatever zone you're in. So for me, this happens to be zone 1. However, we're going in the order of the book, and the reason is because if I was only in zone 1, I would only do these books and I would not do the books in the pantry, which are part of my zone 5. So I like the Konmari method kind of as a get through your house once, and then use the Fly Lady method to keep up with the clutter. So we did this, we did the Konmari method about 2 years ago, so now we're going to kind of retouch on it. Now that we've been in a new house for a year, we're going to kind of see where we're at. Another tip I have is don't take out more than you can put away in an hour. So for me, I want to work for about an hour. I don't really want to go more than an hour, so I'm actually just going to have my stopwatch counting up for me just so I can see how long it's actually going to take me. So we're going to go ahead and just push start. And I'm going to start by getting all of these books off of the shelf, and I'm going to get the stuff from the pantry like I mentioned that I had. So let's get to that. So I do have a few items here that are my husband's. So those I'm going to leave, and then everything else that's mine I'm going to bring down. So I encourage you, don't worry about your spouse's stuff, just worry about your own, and then if you want your children to do it, you can do it with your children. A thing though, your children probably are not, they're not going to get rid of too much stuff up front, and that's fine. I do have an audio program here as well. I'm actually sharing the unboxing of this Tony Robbins RPM planner and all that. You guys will see that tomorrow. This is my control journal. You guys may have seen this if you watched any of my Fly Lady videos. I'm just going to leave that here. But this is another good reason to take everything down, because look, I found a phone charger and a random piece of popcorn. So I will clean this out before I put this stuff back as well. Now, Marie Kondo does mention, you know, if you have a book that you've never read, chances are you're probably not going to read it. I have a few books that I haven't read yet, but I know I'm going to read them. And I have a few that I just wasn't, because I focus on personal development, I had a few that were a little too, I don't know what the word, they were high up in the education thing, like my brain and attention span. I was trying to think. My brain and my attention span were not ready for that type of reading. So I already know a few of them that I'll definitely keep. I don't have any books that are like romance novels or mysteries or, you know, any of those type things. Everything that I do have is literally a non-fiction book. So let's go in the pantry real quick and see what I have. Okay, you can see I have, this is just a few things here. So I'm going to bring down both of those things and bring them over. And then these are my husband's as well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and bring them down just so I can bring my husband's stuff out, and I will have him. Alright, so these ones are not books, but I'm going to consider them books. These are the Time of Your Life program. I absolutely still sparks me joy, and it's still going to be a huge reference for me. Just since I started doing this program, I've seen a lot of improvement just in my overall happiness, because now the goals and the things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis are based on things that I want to do, and I actually have a vision for them. So this is a huge thing. I will be doing a whole video on the RPM planner and all that stuff later on. So I'm going to grab a microfiber cloth real quick and just wipe this out so that if it's one that I'm keeping, I can put right back up there. So the first one we have, obviously, is the life-changing magic of tidying up. So this one I absolutely love, and I'm still using it. And this one I'm going to keep out because we're using it like right now. Okay, so I'm just going to go in the pile I have right here. So this one is Networking Like a Pro. I got this one because I am an independent travel agent and just learning that. So I'm just reading it now. So definitely keeping this one. So this is kind of like a network. I'm going to put this in a pile as far as business type book, I guess. This is another one I have read all the way through. This is called Book Yourself Solid. I got this because of, again, being a travel agent. I read it through once, and then I've started to do the exercises that it has. So I actually do, this is a really good, this is The Intelligent Investor. I have not started reading it yet. Or maybe I did a tiny bit. This is one of those that I will get to. I'm not ready for it yet because it's like an investing type book. I don't know. We're going to just put that over by investing. That's another one. This one is Principles by Ray Dalio. So this one, half of it, like kind of like his biography, and then the other half is him talking about like the actual principles. This was one that I just, I could not seem to, I'm not ready for it. So I'm going to put that with the investor book. This is the Little Book of Common Sense Investing. I have not started reading this one. This is one that I got for this year's reading. So this is going to go with the investment one. This one I just got. I actually love this book. It's a great reference guide. It is the Ayasko Method of Health Through Motion. And this is what I mentioned in my goals report, doing a daily stretching to help realign the spine. So this actually, I really do like it. This one's going to go as kind of like a health and fitness type book. So obviously the Life-Changing Magic Tidying Up is kind of like a home book. This is the Sink Reflections by Marla Chile. She's the fly lady. So definitely great as a reference book. Okay, this one is The Millionaire Mind. Okay, so this is by the same author. I got The Millionaire Mind, and then I got The Millionaire Next Door. And I feel like this whole book is inside that book with some added stuff. So these are made, I have to come back to them because these are ones that I probably will not read or reread. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of put these in the maybe pile for right now. But otherwise, these ones I would consider as kind of like mindset slash personal finance. The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush. This is one that I'm currently working on. I finished reading all of it. I did the kidney cleanse that was in here, which was actually really nice to do. And then my husband and I are going to do the liver and gallbladder flush, but it also talks about other aspects of health. I absolutely love this as a reference guide. I might actually pick up some more of Andreas can't say his name, Martez. I might pick up more of his books. So I'm going to put this with my health book here. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. This is like, everybody needs one of these in their library. So when I very first started getting into personal development and growth and stuff, this was one of the first ones I read. My dad had me, I watched The Secret, which they do have the book The Secret. So I watched The Secret, learning about the law of attraction, and then he let me borrow this, but I got so into it, I started taking notes and marking it all up. He said I could go ahead and keep it, and this is the book that helped me get my mindset knowing that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I opened my dance studio a year after reading this. So definitely a great book to have. All right, Turning Pro. Now this one, it was a very quick and easy read. I don't think it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. I think it's just kind of comparing like the amateur to the pro. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be another one of those maybes. It's kind of like, it was a good read, but do I need to keep it taking up room on my shelf? I don't know. This is the 12 Pillars by Jim Rohn. This is actually a really good book. I really like the way this was written. This was written like in a story form, and then it goes over these 12 pillars. So definitely keeping this one. I would say this is kind of like the mindset, personal, not necessarily personal finance, but mindset, personal growth. This one's a good one too. The 7 Spiritual Laws for Parents. So this is by Deepak Chopra. So I don't belong to any special organized religion, but this one is really great just to teach your children the concept of living a spiritual life. And he, you know, it really is good. I think I mean, you could take these practices that you work with your kids, but you could also use them for yourself. So I might actually want to go back and get the 7 Spiritual Laws. Not the ones that's for parents, but just in general. So I don't know. So this one's good. It's going to be kind of like I said, like a mindset, personal growth. Ooh, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. So this was a good one. It's what the rich invest in that the poor and middle class do not. This is going to go with the Think and Grow Rich. Tax-Free Wealth. This may not seem like it's very fun to read, but this is another one from the Rich Dad community, and it was very eye-opening. And so that's why I've become more aware and more cautious of our taxes. And now that I'm primarily, you know, I'm self-employed, so I really need to know ways that I can save on taxes. So this is a really great reference guide that I would not get rid of. So I'll leave this one over here as well. Oh, this one's a classic. Dave Ramsey's The Complete Guide to Money. Great reference guide. Now I have kind of moved on from, like, I'm still working as baby steps, so I'm not doing them in quite the same order. This is one though I would like to hand off to a friend. I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot to get rid of, to be honest with you. The Automatic Millionaire and Smart Couples Finish Rich by David Block. These are the newest ones I read. Absolutely love these. These have been dictating some of our budget changes. If you watch my budget videos, you know, the Automatic Millionaire, Smart Couples Finish Rich. The Smart Couples Finish Rich talks about how you have to actually budget your values, because you can't just, you know, if you leave out the stuff that's important to you for so long, like you're gonna relapse on your budget. So this is great because you sit down with your spouse and you figure that out. It also has a lot of some of the key points of this book in terms of making sure you have your paperwork in order, your wills, and all of that stuff. And then this one is just great. It talks about the 7 different types of accounts or finance things that you should have automated. And then it gives you examples of how much you would need to invest every month. So this one's also really good. Tony Robbins, Money Master the Game, 7 Simple Steps to Financial Freedom. This one I got for free when I was in the hospital for my surgeries. A lady came around with a cart full of books, and she said that we could pick a book and we could keep it, and this one was on there, and it's actually changed. It helped project out as well, because he gives you the calculations, how to figure out how much money you need for your financial security, your financial independence, your financial freedom, your financial abundance. So this is really a good read. I know every year I pick out 12 new books and I buy 12 new books, but I might go back and reread some of these, because you know, sometimes, like I mentioned with one of the other books, like I wasn't ready for the information yet, and now I think I've grown quite a bit in a year. I think I'd be ready for that, and I feel like if I went back to some of these, I might regain some knowledge that I didn't have. That's the thing, you guys. Sometimes when you're going through here, you might realize that some of the books become more of a sentimental item than anything else. So we'll see. I don't have any that I'm getting rid of yet. How to win friends and influence people. I got it used at Goodwill, and so there was already other people's notes in there, and so it kind of makes it hard for me to get into. But there was still really good, there was some really good tips in here if I remember correctly. So I might want to refer back to it. Okay, this one I think I'll definitely be getting rid of. This is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff with Your Family. So this isn't really like, I never finished reading it, because it just seemed like a bunch of random thoughts put together. So this one I am going to thank you for your time. I am going to pass this one on. And then this one, because I do specialize in cruises, this is Get Your Ship Together, like cruise ships, The Wealthy Travel Agent Guide to Sales. I didn't feel like I really got anything out of here that I didn't already like know. And that's the thing too, sometimes we already know what we have to do, it's just a matter of us actually doing it. So thank you for your time. It doesn't really spark me joy. It wasn't one of those books that I was like, oh, I definitely want to reread it, or I want to refer back to it. So this is another one, Selling Cruises, Don't Miss the Boat. It's kind of just another one of those. I'm part of a host agency, so we have so much training, like we get so much training from them, that I feel like it was kind of another one of those things. So this one, thank you for your time. This one is the 21-day total body transformation. This is the Primal Blueprint lifestyle. I haven't quite been like following it like I was before. I've gotten really bad about how I've been eating. And now that I'm doing like Zumba and strength training at the Y, I still believe in the ideas, but I don't feel like I need this anymore. This is like, this is again when I was in the hospital, they gave me this. This was like a little Sudoku Sudoku puzzle. See, I don't like crosswords, but I love that, like, the Sudoku. But, okay, we're gonna recycle this one. So thank you. I'll recycle that one. All right, so, the 5 love languages. Okay, so this was a great read. So actually, you know, it did help me not only to identify my own love language, but my husband's and my children's. You know, I don't think it's really, I mean, there's the concepts, like you understand what they are now. I think it's time to let it go, to make room for, now I'm feeling a little torn. I'm feeling like these were part of the beginning of our transformation when we were in the RV and then transferring out of the RV, so they're kind of like a weird sentimental thing. So I don't know, these are kind of to the side for now. The 12-week year, this is actually a really good book just to kind of get yourself on how to plan your goals and how to set up your like indicators on how to track your progress on the goal. So definitely worth going back to. I'm going to set that with the mindset / personal development. Profit First. If you're self-employed, a business owner, this one's great. So this is like a finance type book, but it's definitely for like business. Definitely really like that one. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This one is another really good one, and you know what's really cool is my daughter's school, they actually they teach these 7 habits to the kids at the school, which is really cool. So this is going to go under that one. And then we have the Miracle Morning, which is another one of the first ones I started with when I started buying books every year. And that was just basically setting up a good morning routine. I don't think I really need this one anymore. Okay, I'm gonna put it with the other ones of the maybes. I don't know. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put, so we have this one. This one I'm reading right now is actually really good. So this is one I purchased for me to help with my myself as kind of like a speaker and stuff here on YouTube, and then if I were to start hosting any meetups or classes or something like that. So still a show. This one I'm reading now, so we're gonna continue with that one. Okay, so this one is my success journal, so that's not going to count for this video. This is my fitness nutrition journal, so you can keep track of what you're eating and your workouts all in one spot. So this is a good little journal to have. And then this is the most recent one I have. This is just a flexibility book, so teaching stretching and stuff. So this will go with my health books over here. Real life here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start putting, we're going to put our categories back now. All right, I don't know why it was harder than I thought it was going to be. So it's already been 30 minutes. So I got the majority of my books put away, but these right here are from the homeschooling stuff, like I mentioned. So this is like graph paper, it's not even books. Let's see. This is laying down the rails. This was doing habit training with your kids. I had a bigger section of this. I had like more books with this that I actually gave to a friend for homeschooling. I think once you understand the concept of habit training, I feel like you don't necessarily need to keep going back. That's kind of like this, like the Miracle Morning. Once you understand like what he's trying to say is like have a morning routine, and what type of activities really help your morning, like I think like you don't need to refer back to it. So I mean, it was great because it had a whole list of the different habits in there, but it doesn't really spark joy anymore. And if I really want to, I can find a way to get back to that. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. This is just an extra thing. Let's see. So these, it's just like map stuff. Oh jeez. The stuff you find, right? So the map, we'll definitely keep the map. These things I do not need to keep. Oh, well, we might have to go through these later. It's like a junior razor thing for my kids, so I'll wait for those for later. This is actually a really good handbook. This is for if you want to read out loud to your kids more often. It gives you a whole list of age-appropriate books for reading out loud. So this is actually a good reference one. This is empty now. It's almost breaking, so this thing I'm probably gonna go ahead and just toss this thing. And then this is like a whiteboard thing. We're gonna get rid of that one. So then this one we bought for homeschooling, but also it's just kind of cool to have around the house. This is Hungry Planet, so it shows like how all of the countries, how people eat and live differently, like around all the countries of the world, which is really cool. And this one, same thing, Material World. So how all different families, like what they own and all of that. So these are really cool reference guides, I think, for the kids to look at, and even if people come over. So we'll keep those. This is the girls' journal for their nature stuff. So we haven't even used it yet. We're gonna keep this for the girls. This will have to go on their side. And then this is their book of centuries. So this is kind of like a little you know, history type thing that they can have. So we'll keep both of those for now, but I'm going to get rid of this because it's broken, and that's that. So this is that. So what we're going to do later, or next week, is we will do all of the girls things here, and we will see. So let's see what we got, what we're getting rid of. Okay, so we have a little bit of trash or recycle over here, and so we're going to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So actually more than I thought. So actually that's definitely more than I thought. I thought I would get rid of like maybe 2 I was thinking of. So 7 I'm getting rid of, which is good because I can make room for the next set of books for when I start thinking of next year's books. 5 minutes to clean up, because what I'm gonna do is that stuff's gonna go in recycling. The books are gonna go out to the car so I can donate them right away, and then I'll put these few things on the bookcase. We'll call it good. So it's 35 minutes. So basically say I worked on my section for 40 minutes, and then when the girls come home from school, we will do their side for like the remainder 20 minutes. I don't think it should take us too long to go through their side because you know, it's kids' books. It's not like mine. I felt like we're more sentimental because they're like showing like me of like how much I've grown as a person. But anyways, you guys, thanks for joining me for this week's Declutter with me. If you haven't done any of your clothes yet, go back and watch the other episodes, get through your clothes, and then join me and get all of your books from around the house and get through those. And then I'll see you next week while we go through the girls' books. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.